Hey guys, and thanks for joining me today. Today's topic we're talking about rules to establish and hold to when managing a remote team. Now, by this time, right now, all of us are pretty much working from home and have been for quite a while. All right, that's just the world that we're living in right now. But now, this remote working can also reveal a lot of things about you, your team, and your organization. For instance, how internal systems work or don't work, who your top performers are and who they aren't, what companies can adapt and pivot, and which ones are standing still and panicking. Managing, managing your team through Zoom meetings and Slack messages can be quite the challenge. Okay, let's just be honest, especially for leaders who are used to, gathering their staff in the office for an impromptu meeting or popping up by someone's desk just to keep everybody on the same page. Some offices had no problems migrating to the work remotely concept. They probably have been doing this for some time now and in the past. Now, for others, it's unfamiliar territory. And a lot of times it's quite scary and an entirely new concept altogether. One that they may have had to learn quite quickly. Now, you have that, you pile onto that the financial stress, right? A standstill economy, a fuzzy and unclear future, and managing your new remote team. Well, that can seem like an impossible task. But irregardless of the changes or your challenges, managing your new remote team, you shouldn't change your expectations of high performance from them or from your team. As soon as you start to let things slide, it's really difficult to reinstate the standards that you once held. So with that being said, here are some things that I feel like every leader or manager should uphold when managing remote teams. Number one, assign hard deadlines and stick to them. Hard is not meaning difficult right here. Hard is meaning this is it. When we establish a deadline, we have to hit this deadline. No questions asked. Don't ask for it to be moved. We gotta hit. It's a hard deadline. Working remotely doesn't give you the reason to slack off and reduce productivity or performance for that matter. Okay? If anything, you and your team should be stepping up to show that you are ready and willing to get the work done. Don't be afraid to hold your team accountable as well. Performance starts with clear communication, and that starts with leadership, you. Clearly assign, no, clearly assign a task and when it's due, and check midway through to make sure that they're on task and to answer any questions that they may have. After that, you should receive work by the deadline. Working remotely should not compromise this at all. And if outside factors have halted an employee's completion date or production, it's on them to communicate that to you from the start or as soon as something comes into play that's going to hinder them getting to that hard deadline date. After all, you have enough on your plate. Don't take on their workload as well. So make sure they communicate to you as soon as possible if they're having any problems that's going to stop them or hinder them from hitting that deadline. Number two, implement mandatory lunch breaks. Look, I don't know about you, but ever since we transitioned to this work from home full time, I feel like I've been working more hours than ever before. And I kind of knew that was going to happen. And it's also a benefit to the company because you don't have to pack up and get ready to go home. You're already home. So it's always, oh, let me check this one last email, or let me send this one last reply. And you wind up working over your normal business hours. And on top of that, I rarely take breaks. So by 6 p.m., my eyes are puffy from staring at the screen nonstop. My shoulders, they become sore, and my attention span is hanging on by a thread. But before the change, I could wake up, I could go work out, have a lunch meeting, pick up the kids after school, or meet somebody for coffee. Now when I wake up, I go straight to the laptop or computer, and I don't let up until the last person on my team logs off or signs off. After weeks of this on repeat, I'm drained. So if I'm drained, I know that my team is drained too. So again, this is why we should implement at minimum 30-minute lunch breaks. At minimum. Mandatory lunch breaks. Everyone must sign off. Giving them permission to walk away from their computer and recharge can make substantial difference to their performance and their morale. You know, a quick walk, giving them the chance to just daydream or drift or just quickly decompress works wonders for them and for you. And the last one is delegate, delegate, delegate. Oh, and delegate. During challenging times, okay, we leaders, we need to focus on the business. This includes strategy to both navigate the present as well as prepare for the future. Maybe that means pivoting your business model or introducing new services. It could also be a time to consider those ideas you've been meaning to explore, like acquisitions, partnerships, new business models, rebranding, a plethora of stuff, you know. But knowing you have those extra chains of communications to get through can impede leaders from delegating work that they used to. And so basically they end up just doing it themselves. You know as well as I do. That's usually what we wind up doing. And it's a common trap for a lot of us, especially entrepreneurs and staff, to fall into. Yet it prevents them from critically working on their business or on the business pertaining depending upon if you're an entrepreneur or working for a corporation. So before you tackle that report, okay, assign it to someone on your team. They're employed for a reason. Let them do their job so that you can do yours. All right? Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you for tuning in. I really feel like this is some great information here. We're living in some unique times. This may eventually be our new normal. And if that's the case, then there's a whole new set of leadership skills and skill sets that we need to have in order to lead our teams remotely. It's a whole lot different than having everybody in the same building or in the same room. You know, this is completely new for a lot of us. And so we need to make sure that we lay a solid foundation for our team so they'll know that we're there, we support them, our doors are always open, we keep that line of communication going, we make sure we exercise clear and defined goals and tasks, deadlines. We make sure communication is open just in case there's some hindrance or roadblocks that's going to deter us or potentially halt us from meeting our deadlines, so that we can jump on it and figure out what it is and remove that issue so that we can continue to the finish line. There are new ways that we have to look at to keep our employees or team engaged, highly productive, all that good stuff. Okay? So I'm here for you guys. If you need any help with leadership development coaching, remote team leadership, team building, that's big too, and diversity training, I'm here for you guys. Just reach out to me, let me know, and we'll put a plan together for you and your team to make sure that you guys are successful in whatever it is you're trying to do and want to do, and also helping you to be the leader that people want to follow and the leader that you want to be. All right? Guys, take care. And remember, if you like these videos and the information that I'm bringing to you, if you feel like it's helpful, please like and subscribe and share this channel so that other people can benefit and reap the knowledge that's being brought out to the masses here. All right? Guys, have a great day and be safe out there. Remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?
Whether you're a new leader who needs the building blocks of leadership and how to be effective, or a seasoned leader who needs to understand that there are two sides to leadership, or a leader who just needs some inspiring insight or leadership seeds in order to enhance your leadership abilities, the CDB Consulting Group has the resources you need. There are two key elements successful leaders have that the unsuccessful ones don't: self-discipline and the understanding to constantly invest in themselves. So pick up a copy or the entire collection today and start investing in your leadership now. available at Amazon.com. And remember, great leadership equals great results. How are you leading?